real preseason. But I thought Mikel especially gave a good calm to the game, and you can see his quality with his ball and positioning right away. And Buka has dynamic. There's no doubt about it. His 1v1 is going to be something that causes problems, and it helps unlock some other areas of the field. But I think the win was there. The opportunity to win the game was there. We give up the second goal. So like I said, it kind of changes the mood of the game. But the guys grinded again. It's been a busy, hectic week, difficult week. A week that we certainly feel we should have got more points or should have been in a position to get more points. But we'll let these guys get a little recovery, and then obviously we look forward to Leagues Cup.
Thanks, Josh. We'll go now to media questions. Whoever would like to start us off. Phil?
So just with Bukri and Dessler, just kind of heading into the week, what kind of minutes cap were they on? What kind of preparation did you have kind of planned for them, getting them acclimated?
Yeah, well, I think those are probably about the max minutes our high performance crew wanted to see them taking. I think Buka, it was more 45 minutes and kind of see how he is. Got to keep in mind these guys have not played. Mikel especially since probably May 20th, May 25th. So no preseason. They're in about as high risk space as you can get because they just haven't been able to go through the typical grinds of a 3-4 week preseason. And but we were glad to get them in market early. That helped a little bit of the adaptation. And I think Buka again has some qualities that are going to unbalance. I think right away he gave some change of speed. He certainly got around the corner a couple times, and I think Giassi's on the end of it. If he takes it well, it's a fantastic start to the game. But all in all, I thought he did well. I think the more he gets familiar with the group, and the more the group gets familiar with him and kind of his unique qualities, the better it'll be. And Mikel, again, is a soccer player. He's good, calm, good quality. Right away, you can see he comes in and kind of brings a little bit of quality to that position for us, more so than Johnny in a different way. Johnny gives us dynamic and power, and he has a little bit more decision making. But it was nice to get Johnny as a winger. Again, get to see how dangerous he is.
Yeah, and then Minnesota wins tonight. That puts you behind the line. You've talked about 2 points at home, 1 point on the road. Yeah. Obviously, you're under that at this point right now. So what's the plan for Leagues Cup and then beyond? You don't play again until August 25th, I think, in the league.
Against Nashville. Yeah. So Leagues Cup is a competition. We played 2 of the very best in Mexico. They're going to be about as difficult games as you can face. Getting Mikel, getting Buka, getting Alexander up to speed. We need these guys to play. These are good opportunities for them to play. There's probably a couple other guys that it would be good to play, but you obviously want to compete. You want to win. You want to get through the group. You want to get through to the next round. So we've got to let these guys recover. It was a physical, emotional week thus far. The additions are good. We've been waiting for these. We've had to grind for a long time, and we would have loved to have these guys at the beginning of the year, but we knew this is what it's going to be. So just outside the playoffs with 9 to go, I think, as we've said all along, you want to be within a shout, and we need to get these guys a little bit further up to speed physically and with some game ideas. And then we can go after our first game against Pumas on Friday.
Colby?
Can you just take us more through the thought process with the outside backs, how to handle starting and bringing 2 in?
Yeah, I think Mikel was only going to get, for us it was around 30 minutes is what we were looking for. We got to keep in mind what the week looked like. We played 2 games, probably 55, 60 minutes down a guy. Our guys, some of them were extremely exhausted. Johnny and Biro put in massive shifts from a volume standpoint, and obviously we're chasing these games down a guy trying to grab equalizers. So Hector gives us a little bit of fresh legs. We knew he'd last at max 60 minutes, so we thought that was a good one for Mikel. And Johnny, we knew we could use if Biro gassed out, or if Biro wanted to go, we could certainly use Johnny as a winger as well. So it gives us a little bit more depth, quality, and some flexibility at that position. But obviously, getting guys into the game, and you don't want to see any setbacks at this point for sure.
And then, do you have like a points goal? It seems like the demarcation line, for lack of a better word, for the playoff is like 43, 44 points. Do you have a set number you want to hit in the next 9 games?
It's hard to, well, of course, I think it's hard to say what that line is. We now have 9 teams. I think previously we have it through our through our statistics department. They send it over as far as typically what the numbers are, but 45, 46 typically gets you there. But you can't hang your hat on it. But with 9 teams, I think if you took the averages, you're probably right around last year what that was, 43, 44. But we got to get points. 9 games, 27 points left. left. It's going to be a grind. It always is. And the good news is we got a full roster. We got some new guys, and we got to do our very best to get them up to speed, remain healthy, and charge. We got some games that obviously we got a handful of home games and some away games, but we'll get after Leagues Cup and do our best to advance in that. And then, as you said, we'll look forward to Nashville when we return to MLS play.
Eric?
Yeah, Coach. The first goal comes after some nice high pressing. Is that something you'd like to see more of, like high pressing leading to scoring chances?
Oh, for sure. We've done a great job with high pressing. Too often, we probably haven't turned that and generated that into to chances. Biro did a good job jumping it, and that area of the field. Those are the type of balls we call our little hot zone. Those half spaces that we can clip behind the line. You have a decent separation from center backs, even though it is a little bit of a transition moment. That's often the case, regardless of run of play. So, but we want to win balls and get to goal. The whole reason for high pressing is to create a goal-scoring chance. It's not to just get them to kick long. We want them to play. We want to win it, and we want to go to goal. So the guys executed that quite well. And the second goal also was quite nicely worked. Again, in the wide areas, trying to create overloads and get to the end line, and it brings problems for the opposition when we execute better in and around goal. And there's still missed opportunities in the game. There's plenty of them, and I think it's part of what we've had a difficult time with this year. But again, getting in those spaces more often, having a little bit more ruthlessness, adding a little bit of quality. Those things will go a long, long way.
Thank you. And then Galler finished the match playing on the left wing.
Yeah.
Do you think him playing on the left unlocks a bit more of his goal-scoring potential?
Well, he played on the right last year and had 5 goals, 5 assists, I think. We played a little bit different structure with 3-2-2-3 when we'd build, which, again, was really, really challenging for opposition to deal with. It got him further up the field. The repercussions of that is he's far from the back line when we have to transition, so he needs help from someone else. So right side or left side, the good thing is, even as a forward, we've used Johnny in a lot of spots. I think he's about as versatile as they get. Him and Owen can bounce around. But Johnny, left back, he can dribble inside and unbalance you. He can race you down the line. At right back, he's probably a little more conservative with right back. But if he's high on the line, what he's done is with his time here, and I think even prior, is he wants to get into the attack. He wants to score goals, and we certainly appreciate that. And now that we have another right back to compete in there, he can certainly play in more advanced roles.
Thank you.
Phil?
Yeah, just got a quick one. Any word from the league about Driussi and his availability beyond?
One game, and it's this one being served, so he's good for Leagues Cup, good for the league, and that's positive news. Some positive news.
I guess thoughts on Danny's performance playing farther up the field tonight?
Yeah, for Danny, he is extremely unbalancing as a 6, and why he is that is because his elusiveness behind forwards. Forwards typically are not very responsible defenders, attacking mids in that space. He does a really, really good job of getting on the ball from center backs. When we need bounce passes from 6s or 10s, he does a good job. And he gets away from people, and he connects the game side to side and vertically. As a 10, you can see he's eager to get into the attack. He finds himself dribbling quite often. Positional discipline becomes a big challenge because he wants to make plays. He's everywhere, and it's because he has a desire to be on the ball and to bring it to other people in good spots. So you like that about it, but part of it is that you have to be a little more mindful of where you are and when you're roaming the field, so to speak. Because when you do lose the ball, there is continuity. There you need a level of connection to prevent the opposition from transition. But he's a highly technical player. He's extremely influential in our attacks, as you can see. Dallas, I thought, was a fantastic performance, and he showed some emotional stability, I think, in that game. It was an emotional game, so I think that was progress for him. And tonight he was shattered. He was shattered, and he kept going. And we can't afford to take him off. He's so important and so valuable. But you can see as the game went on, he got a little more leggy, and it just costs you a little bit more of the opportunities as you move up the field. But I think you could see both sides. 3 games in a week, the game starts to get a little stretched, to say the least, and that's not a space we want to live in too much, but it does happen.
Then with Leagues Cup, I know this is only the second year, but how do you manage now a schedule where you have a month off from MLS play
Yeah.
into a completely different competition. Is that jarring, or is it just something you roll with?
Well, I think you're in the routine of games, so it's typically Saturday when we have these 3 in a week. It's Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, so the game will come a little bit quicker for us because it's a Friday game, and then the next one will come quickly again because it's a Tuesday game. So it's we're still in a little bit of this busy schedule. The good news is, as we said, we've got our internationals got back to us. Joe, Pepe, and Julio. Suspension guys will come back to us, and we have some new guys. So. We should have a decent amount of guys fully fit and ready to go. And no, I think it's the further you progress, the more games you play, the more money the players wins, the more games we can hopefully have here at Q2. At the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do here. And we'll see how we are coming out of this game. I don't think there's too many. There's fatigue for sure, but there's no injuries. So we'll get our guys ready, and the new guys especially, we need to get them games and get them inside our group, and get them more significant minutes going forward.
This might be getting more in the midweek realm, but is there any kind of clarity on roster expansion for Leagues Cup and what you'll be able to use and how many you'll be able to activate?
As far as the list of players that will be available?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that should come out. It should come out. We've kind of talked through it already. I mean, there's a decent amount of the ATX2 guys that we'll have in there, so it's more just to have in case there were some issues with guys. But all in all, we have our primary first team guys ready to go.
What's decent, like 5, 7?
Probably in there, yeah. That's probably right. That's probably right. A handful of those guys that came with us in preseason. I think we've added Irving as well. I think there's a couple guys in there. So, yeah, we'll have to lock that down here shortly.
Anything else for Josh? All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
I'm pretty sure it's 30. Yeah, you're allowed to register for Leagues Cup.